Good morning. It is Monday morning, 6:15 a.m. It's cut test time. Spyderco Native 5 in Maxamet. My Spyderco second sale score. It was tough to get, took forever, but I'm very, very happy I finally got some Maxamet. And in one of my favorite Spydercos, one of them. I have a lot of favorite Spydercos, but this is one of them, the Native 5. In fact, it's one of the best EDC knives of all time, in my opinion. And so I'm really happy to have it in this really good blade steel. Really quickly, Maxamet is not a stainless. In fact, it can corrode pretty easily. Where I live in Central California, I don't have to really worry about humidity doing that. And I like patina anyways, so this will darken up over time. But if you live in an area where rust can happen quickly and much more easily, then you might want to coat this with some kind of protective oil or lubricant or whatever. So very high edge retention, lower corrosion resistance, medium toughness, which is perfect. That's what I like. Can't wait to cut with this thing. It should be, up with the top dogs. The 15 Vs, the K390s, the S90Vs, the S110Vs. This is going to be up there with the big dogs. So, really excited. Let's go out there and start cutting. All right, let's get into it. Let's get it on. I'm probably going to say this multiple times, but this really is one of the best knives ever for EDC. Ever. The factory edge here is absolutely bonkers. It's one of the sharpest edges I've gotten from Spyderco. I mean, look at that. Super long cuts. It's just, it's insane sharp. Insanely sharp. Spyderco is known for having very good and sharp factory edges, even though sometimes they're not super even. They are always, almost always, very sharp. So let's get my glove on for protection and let's start cutting. I cannot wait to see how good this stuff is. Starting on the regular cardboard, regular thickness. Breezing through. Now, you'll notice throughout this whole video, I stay in the choked up position on this knife. And for the Native 5, I really believe that's kind of, at least how I like to hold knives, that's kind of the primary position. That's kind of how the knife is meant to be held choked up. I still can get a full 4-finger grip choked back, but it just feels weird back there. And I don't know why you would hold it back there. So choked up is just insanely comfortable on this knife, so that's my primary grip. So it destroyed regular thickness cardboard, like it wasn't even there. So let's try some triple thickness stuff. This is hard for knives to get through unless they're very thin. The Native 5 has decently thin blade stock, but not as thin as the Delica. The Delica does a lot better with this thick stuff. It doesn't have much to do with the sharpness. It has almost everything to do with the geometry. So the Delica it has super thin blade stock, so it's just going to pass through this stuff much easier. But the Native 5 here is not doing too bad. I mean, we're going against the grain here. It just requires muscle to push it through. But if we go with the grain, it's pretty easy. So that performed just fine for the geometry that it has. Test our edge real quick. Still very sharp. The tape gunk, I think affects cutting through the paper a little bit, so I try to clean it off to make sure I'm getting an accurate paper cut. And yeah, still very sharp, obviously. All right, how is it as a utility cutter? Really, really good. This is one of the primary reasons why I think this knife is so perfect. Is it's the best of both worlds between like Wharncliffe or sheepsfoot with a really low tip and a drop point, because we do have a little bit of belly, but as you can see, you're already at the tip so just so easily and so quickly without having to raise up your wrist, raise up your arm to get to the tip. I mean, look how quickly and easily it's cutting. Just insane, man. Absolutely nuts. So, you know, you have that little bit of belly when you need it, but you also have a really low tip. You know, in comparison with the handle, the whole blade is kind of pointing down, at least in that general direction. So, I would actually even prefer that carrying this over, like a sheepsfoot or a Wharncliffe if I'm doing a lot of this type of cutting. It's just, I don't know, man. They just did it perfectly. Best of both worlds. Let's cut up this old leather glove here. How about that? What do you guys think about that? Check this out. Lots of layers in there. Check this out. Holy shit. I'm not even sawing through it. I'm not dragging the edge along the leather. I'm just pushing down, dude. Just like on the AD20. Unbelievable. Unfreaking believable. Look at that. That is just applying downward pressure. The edge is sharp enough to just cut super cleanly through it. It's insane. And we are still very sharp, obviously. So I've tested I've tested this Native 5. I think this is my third or fourth time doing a cut test with it, but with different blade steels. So I already know this is a fantastic EDC knife. Really what I'm testing here is the Maxamet. And so far so good. It's holding an edge very, very nicely. But if you haven't seen the old Native 5 cut test videos, I'm still talking about the knife itself. And just because I love it so much. So we're cutting on this thick wall rubber tubing, and just did so well. This is a situation where that little bit of belly is coming in handy. Kind of that almost like chop rock type of cut. Really super good for that. I mean, this rubber tubing felt like a carrot. It would just, yeah, cutting through so easily. My Native 5 salt, I actually use in the kitchen a lot because it's rust proof and, you know, same blade shape as this one here. It's good in the kitchen. It really is. All right, some bungee cord material. This stuff, if you don't have a very sharp edge, it does not cut cleanly. So it's a good test for sharpness. And yeah. Oh, baby, yeah. I mean, look at that. Super clean. Just to chop straight down, like the glove. This is all the strap I have left, so I think I'm going to be able to get 2 cuts out of this. I need to get some more, but I think we're going to be able to get 2 out of it. I don't really expect this to go all the way through because we don't have a whole lot of cutting edge, but it actually got surprisingly far. I was not expecting it to get that far. It was like 7/8 of the way through. Strap's so small I can't get a really good grip on it here, but yeah, we got still pretty far though. So I'm pretty impressed. You know, like I said, you need a lot of edge to get all the way through the strap, but impressive for the amount of edge that we do have. And our edge retention is still bonkers good. Bonkers, bonkers, bonkers good. Whoops. User error on that one. It's sharp, folks. So far, this seems to be acting like, pretty similar to 15V. You know, they're both not stainlesses. You know, they're tool steels with high edge retention. So I would like to do a battle between 15V and Maxamet. I think it'd be an interesting battle. You know, they might be similar enough to where I wouldn't even be able to tell which one held an edge longer, but it'd be fun to try it. I think I'll probably do that. Make a video out of it. Just cutting up some more cardboard here just to kind of reiterate how good it is. Do some more utility cuts real quick. It's just so fun. It's so fun blasting through this. I'm not even, putting much downward pressure into it. I kind of just set the tip and drag it, and it's cut. It's gnarly. Freaking nuts. If you don't have a Native 5, I highly recommend it. You know, if you want a stainless one, go with the Salt series. I believe they're making them in Magna Cut now, which is a very stainless steel. Or, you know, just get a standard one, whatever. There's a lot of choices, a lot of colors, a lot of blade steel choices, which is just something I love about Spyderco. And, you know, each and every one of those blade steels is going to be done to the highest of standards. So let's go ahead and strap it. It doesn't even really need it, but, you know, it has lost a little bit of bite. I can tell running my fingers over it, and I can tell from the paper too. You know, even though it is cutting paper very easily, it's not gliding through as well as it was before we started. So, you know, the cutting is having an effect. It's just very minimal. So anyways, yeah, I really recommend the Native 5. There's just so many great things about it. I'm thinking about doing another... I've already reviewed the knife. I'm thinking about doing another video on it. Because I've really realized more in the last few months that it really is one of the best knives ever. So I think I'll do another video probably on the subject. It's just, you know, there's so many things, but size is another one. It's just the perfect size for, you know, general use EDC. But it's not too small to where you can't, you know, take it to work and do some heavy duty stuff with it. Absolutely you can. Look how long I can do, look how long that cut is. So after stropping, it's noticeably gliding through the paper more easily. It's just crazy. It's so fun. I could just sit and cut paper for a long time. I don't know if you've seen Zach in the Wild's Blade Show coverage, but he was doing a test where people got, I think, 3 tries, or maybe 1 try to, no, I think it was 1 try, to cut all the way down through like a 4-inch piece of paper without tearing or anything. And not many people were able to do it, but I think with this knife I could do it. I think I could, man. This thing is just so freaking sharp. And yeah, that's about it. So I'm really, really impressed with this Maxamet. Like I said, seems to be right around the edge retention capabilities of 15V, which is fantastic. And I'm really happy to have some in the collection. So, hope you enjoyed. Please like the video before you leave. And hope you guys have a really good Monday. Good rest of your week. I'll see you soon. Adios.